All right, so I'm up early in the morning, and now I understand like why people like Eric Thomas, Steve Harvey, Oprah, Tyler Perry, like some of those heavy hitters that we see on TV, TD Jakes, like all these people who are like national, like influential people in our society. Like I see why they just are one, tired all the time. Two, they're so passionate about the stuff they speak about. Because when you really dive deep into taking your life to the next level, as far as elevation, and like I said, my channel is for leaders. And the reason why I say that is because only leaders think about the things that I'm thinking about. Like the average person isn't thinking about how to actually implement elevating their life to the next level. Only people who are really serious and driven and, like I said, resonate with some type of outside force, God, to try to burst through this bubble of just um the day-to-day things that society have us wrapped into. But when I was meditating on last night, God had told me that it's time for me to get ghosts. And it's really difficult for me to internalize that because I was just actually getting out of my bubble and like getting it into crowds, getting away from social anxiety. After you experience things like death, it just makes you so fragile. And I'm already very sensitive to other people's spirit and energy and things like that. So I was actually getting out more, but now creating a channel and really being serious about it and using it as a tool to take my life to the next level and actually take clients and book talking to people and just, being more strategic about how I spend my day-to-day time outside of work, because 8 hours is a lot of time to spend at your job. So all the extra time you basically have to spend it into your gift and into your side hustle. And going ghost doesn't mean being rude. And I think a lot of people think like, oh, well, you have to put on a facade that you're better than other people. No, I don't think that's what he was telling me. I think that when I received the message or the download about it's time to get ghost, I think God was just telling me it's time to focus on myself. I know one thing that he challenged me to do every day is take 30 minutes of physical activity. It doesn't matter if I walk, run, jog, um, or anything like that. Just dedicate 30 minutes of physical activity for moving. And that's actually just a way to maintain your weight, but to lose weight, an hour is recommended. But just for me to just, like, I encourage you guys, just press play and start recording your videos to get your content out there. It's the same thing with weight loss. You just have to start somewhere. So 30 minutes was my bare minimum that I have been able to do, and I've been able to do that, and it's been paying off because I feel great. My talk breaths while walking has increased. Like I can talk more while I'm walking. I'm not completely depleted of energy as soon as I start walking for 5 or 10 minutes. Um, and when you go ghost, it's going to be time for you to love people from afar. So loving people from afar means that you may not be able to physically see them in person. You may have to take like some FaceTime calls so people can check in and know you're not in a dark place, but just know that you're focusing on yourself. So take more text messages or emails or voice messages and FaceTime messages, but you may not be able to physically go to places like you were before because you're going to be so busy creating content and stuff like that. And this is for me, but I'm sharing it because I know that it can resonate with somebody else who may be in the same space that I'm in now, as far as starting a new adventure like college or um, a business or something different that you're adding to your schedule. You're going to have to be missing. You're not going to be able to be at every hog killing, as the country people say. So sometimes you may have to set out in order to reach your goals. And he wanted me to create videos like my life depend on it. And I rarely get these life changing messages because I'm just quiet and I'm listening and I'm like, God, what you want me to do? And when he said that, I was just like, oh, it's go time. And I don't think it's by chance that I've been on Eagle twice. So with that being said, I'm gonna be creating videos like my life depend on it because that's what I received to do, and it's easy, it's helpful, it's bringing in revenue, so I have to go with it. And don't go dark. I spoke a lot about getting enough rest, and sometimes being ghosts, sleeping too much, not working out, not eating properly, not having your therapist or your counselor check in with you, not going to any social gatherings. Sometimes going down a tunnel alone, you can get dark. It's very easy to get distracted and go to a dark place. So although you may spend time alone, far as being ghost, still don't be dark. Be working on yourself behind the scenes, working on your business, working on improving yourself. Your mental health is very important. So I wrote down some suggestions about pray often. I pray throughout the day. I pray as soon as I get in my car. I pray before I eat my food. I pray about everything because you just never know what messages you may get or confirmations you may get. Stuff you asked God last week. Just a simple prayer, He can just answer it just like that. Like I said, I could be mopping, sweeping, vacuuming out my car, doing anything. And even on here, like I may forget to say something, and the Holy Spirit within me will say, Jessica, don't forget to say that. So pray, meditate, and praying is just like meditating. You can speak your mind or be quiet. So I pray and meditate doing both ways. Sometimes I'm talkative and sometimes I'm quiet and listening to see what feedback I get back. Sound healing is really good. I have promoted my girlfriend. She is a Reiki healer. She's a shaman. She is a sound healer. Sound healing is just like they're using um, instruments just to raise your vibrations and to deplete all of like the negative vibrations and thoughts and things like that. Because your mind is very powerful. You can train your mind to get you to the next level, to stay on positive things even when negative things come your way. You're able to combat it with a higher resiliency or stamina than the next person without receiving some of the things, like a person that don't pray, don't meditate, don't go to therapy, don't get sound healing, massage therapy, anything like that. You'll be able to address problems and barriers quicker, or more resilient than the next person who don't do those things. Massage therapy is really good because it basically does the same thing like the sound healing. It kind of releases all of the negative tension, and it's actually like touch, so it's sensory. Because it's good for me because I'm sensitive to the spirit. So anything touch, I vet the people that I allow to touch my body. So I would do the same. I would suggest the same for you. So if you're going to a masseuse or if you are going to a sound healer, make sure that you vet these people because energies do transfer. So these are some of the things that you can do to not go dark. Like I said, dedicating 30 minutes of physical activity to yourself can raise your vibration, decrease depression, anxiety, stress, sleep deprivation, all of these things. So 30 minutes is really a key place to start if you're not endurance type of workout, if you don't have a workout regimen, you're looking to start somewhere. 30 minutes is a good place. And they have YouTube things where you can get on and exercise with people walking or just doing like some resistance training. There's many ways you can do it. And your mental health. So check in with your counselor, your pastor, your even just talking to a trusted friend until you're able to get to a place where you can afford therapy or afford counsel. But every person, I believe, should have some sort of therapy to just check in and say, hey, how are you? Because the traditional thing to say is, oh, I'm doing fine. But that's not a real answer. So talk to your therapist about how you're doing. Don't go on Facebook or Instagram and discuss your marital problems and things like that. For one, it's tacky, and two, they're not professionals. They're not going to give you solid advice like your therapist would. You'll wind up divorced, single, and have a whole bunch of other problems by just airing your dirty laundry on social media. Um, so while I'm going ghost, and I don't really know how ghost I can get, but just more focusing on myself, I am going to be reading more. So I did share that I read the Viola Davis book. That book was really good. So if you have not read it, that's a good place to start reading. Now I have the Whitney Houston book. I think it was her mother wrote a book in honor of her, talking about her biography and her life journey and sharing pictures that never been seen before. So I'm going to be reading the Whitney Houston book coming up. I have it already, so I just have to start reading it. And limit your time on social media, any type of social media platforms Like right now, I'm just going to be utilizing YouTube a lot, and I do 30 minutes a day, but I'm probably going to have to change that to maybe 30 minutes a week, just because I need more downloads from God versus downloads from, like, other people. And sometimes the information can get blurred. And if you're really serious about elevating your life, you're going to have to limit the social media time. And it's not a bad thing if you are heavy on social media, but you may feel like sometimes if I'm on there, I'm like, oh, I could be doing something different, or I could be recording a video right now. So it's all about how you balance your work life um, load that you have. So these were just some things that I wrote down about going ghost and, um, like I said, social gatherings. It's the holidays right now, so I've been kind of out and about, not heavy, but just like very, very social, and using it as a form of therapy to kind of, meet with other adults and still have some sense of fun and not all play. But it's going to become a time where I'm not going to be able to have a lot of playtime just because I'm 32 and I've already, played a lot in my life. So now it's just time for me to kind of stay focused and gather that tunnel vision and go ghost for a while. So if you don't see me around, I love you, and I'll be sending you lots and lots of text messages. I may not be able to make every gathering, but I'll be trying my best to still be there for my family and friends, because I know it's very important to support people mutually as best you can. So I just wanted to share my tidbits on how God say I need to go ghost for a while. So enjoy making your content, enjoy getting out of God's way, and sometimes you gotta go ghost to make your dreams come to reality. All right, God bless. I'm heading to work now.